Okay, so whenever I walk into a room that is really messy, I can usually scan the room, remove everything in my mind of the space, and rearrange it. And so I know exactly how I want to set it up. Whenever I go into a client's house that's new, even if I've seen pictures ahead of time, sometimes I get overstimulated. So basically, now that now that I know what it is, now since I'm working with POTS and the mast cell activation syndrome, I kind of just wanted to give you an idea of how I have to do things so that I can function well enough. So basically, whenever I go into a space now, I have to slowly scan. So the way that, and I guess everybody's going to be different, but for myself, whenever I look to the left, I get very disoriented because my eyes shake more whenever I look to the left. So I have to start scanning. I have to turn to the left and then scan to the right, and then it's a little bit easier. One of the things that's really helpful if you have POTS and if this is a career path you are going down, or if you're a house cleaner, anything like that, where you're in someone else's home, I always have water with me and I keep element in it. I do the raw unflavored because I also have mast cell activation syndrome, and the flavors and the citric acid and the other ones can sometimes give me a mast cell reaction. So I'm just really mindful of that. Another thing that I have to pay attention to is temperature in the room. So I cannot be in a room that's too hot or too cold. I'd prefer too cold because heat really, really bothers me. And I do end up getting a reaction from both the POTS and the mast cell activation syndrome. So room temperature. So if it's warmer in the room, I do bring a fan with me. I also have like one of the personal like neck fans, but I typically will bring a fan just to have with me just in case. Another thing that I like to have is a step stool because the up and down is really hard. So if I have a step stool and I can like walk up that slowly and then back down slowly, that's a lot easier for me. And then lighting. Lighting is really is a tricky one. So if it's fluorescent, horrible. I hate it. Those suck. I can't deal with those. So if there is bad lighting, I just have to take things extra slow and then turn on as many lights as I can so that things are easier for me to see. So one of the things that has happened with my specific issue is the right side of me is hyperactive and the left side is underactive. And so you'll notice like my eyebrow or my eyelid droops a little bit more on the left, which is going to get better with my treatments. But one of the things with that is this side sees things brighter and this side sees things a lot dimmer. And so my saturation level is weird on this side. And so because of that, I need more light, but it has to be like the right kind of light or I feel really sick. Okay. Basically, pacing yourself is a big thing. So this room that I'm in now, behind me looks terrible. In front of me is actually not that bad. Because this is part of my basement and this room has because it's a playroom, but we were shifting some things, and so this middle spot is just like random and there's a drum set. So that takes up a lot of space that would normally not be taken up. But I'm going to work on this room and just show you how I function, and if I'm not functioning, how I take my breaks. All right, all I could find was my daughter's scrunchie. Hair up. I love long hair. I love my hair. But I put it on my head in what I call my poop emoji. My mom bun, because if I have my hair down, I get so overheated so fast, and it's not good. Okay, hair up, sleeves up, got my water. So basically, if we look at this room, it looks horrible. Okay, it's just very random. So basically, I'm just gonna start what I want to do. Actually, I'm gonna show you. So like the shelving, I don't really mind right now, like the way that is. But what I want to do is set up the drum set in that back corner. So that's the plan for today, because that would actually relieve a lot of congestion in this area. My son has a kitchen along this wall, and I'll show you in a minute, and then a little grocery store and like a little table set up. So like that's accessible. He plays with that. This, I actually brought the drum kit in from the garage and we were using it we were using it upstairs. But then I like brought it down because I rearranged furniture upstairs. When I'm overwhelmed, I rearrange because it makes me feel like I'm doing something. I don't know. Are you like that? All right. So anyway, drum kit is gonna go in this corner. This is just something that my husband and my son built, so we have to keep this for now because it's special and my son uses it. Okay. Anything in a room that is not for that room is gonna go. So this is a box of papers that I need to sort, and actually I had moved my office area down here not that long ago, and so I'm gonna set this with the office stuff because whatever needs filed is gonna be filed over there, and that'll be like, so say that I'm not feeling well and I need to take a break, my break would be like sitting over there and just filing papers because I can sit and I don't have to like move around and move my eyeballs a lot. I love coffee, but I drink like a clean decaf and I add collagen, I add salt. I forgot to put salt in it this time. And cinnamon. The salt really helps. And you get used to it. I don't know. Oh, and like heavy cream, I use that. Did I say that? I don't know. Probably not. But anytime I have coffee, even if it's decaf, I am always sipping my water with my electrolytes in it alongside it, or I feel like crap. So if you're a coffee lover, but you have the problems that I have, please make sure you're drinking water alongside your coffee because it will help you so much. All right, so I'm gonna move that box too because that's also papers that can be sorted. Okay. Okay, that little table, I feel like they're useful, but then they're not all at the same time. Although my son is 7 now, and so like even if he were to sit at it with a chair, his legs would not go under it. So right now it's not going to be like useful in the way of using like a table to sit at. It would just be like a random surface area. So I don't know if I'm going to keep that. We're going to see, but I'm going to move it out of the way because it's not staying there. Anyway, I'm going to scoot that. I'm actually going to put it here as a surface in case I need. So up and down, like I said, bending over, standing up, that can be hard sometimes. So sometimes I like to have surfaces that are just open. So if I need to look through something, instead of like leaning forward, I set it on top of that surface so that it's more of my level and I don't have to like bend over and have that that blood pooling happening because that's really uncomfortable. These are just empty containers. I like to try to keep empty containers around as I'm working in a space. If they're already in the space, it's really not a big deal, but I have a lot of empty containers because I do shift things quite often, and then if I'm going to be doing something in someone else's house and I can kind of like implement it in my own for a little bit, I do like to kind of give it a test run just to see. It's nice, like my kids are all different ages. They range from 7 to 16, and so at this point, I can really like tell how things are going to function in a house for a teenager, a preteen, and a child. And so that's been nice. And it's not long since like I've had a baby, so like, you know, my house, I still know how to figure things out for like younger kids too, which is nice. But anyway, back to organization. Kids change fast, and so the organization style kind of changes too. For kids, mostly like under 11, I like to try to keep things as visual as possible, and then it's easier for them to put things away, and it's also easier for the adult to quickly put things away. Or if you have friends come over, if the kids have friends come over, if you have a babysitter, it's just so much easier for them to like quickly pick up after themselves. So that's why I kind of keep like a range of storage containers around just to kind of like play around with it. if I was doing this room for somebody else, I wouldn't be carrying around like all of these. I would be utilizing what they have, and then if it doesn't make sense, I would suggest different types of storage containers. But for now, I'm going to keep these here on this table surface because I'm probably going to be using those in different ways. Okay, that horse, my son loves this. He named it Nene, and actually my daughter may have named it Nene. That thing is old. It's like 15 years old, and if I had my way, I would throw it away because like there's stuff broken in it. My daughter used to sit on this when she was little. I still have a picture. It was so cute. But like, it's hollow plastic. This, if I was at somebody's house, I would recommend that they get rid of this. But my child loves it so much, and if their child loved it so much, okay. It, you know, not everything can stay, but you know, you can have whatever you want stay, just not everything can stay. So this would be one of the things that like, every time my son is in the room, I'm like, should we get rid of Nene? And he's like, no. So Nene stays for now. I have to find her a special home in this room because I'm just constantly shifting her because he loves her and he notices. He notices if she's not around. I had this up in my hallway because it was holding like just like blankets because it's the hallway near the kids' bedrooms, and I just threw blankets in it, which like didn't really make much sense anyway. So that's now empty and not in that same room. So honestly, a lot of this stuff can just go. I have little things in here like wires, like this can go with my office stuff. This goes in my son's toolkit. My son bought a bunch of like cool pens. It's a pen. He bought like a bunch of random horror pens for everybody in the family, and it just keeps ending up in random places, but he really likes it. So art supplies, I'll be putting that stuff away. Yeah, and again, it's just like stuff that doesn't belong down here, so it's going to be moved out of the room. These are from the Dollar Tree. Not necessary, but I can just stick it with the Halloween stuff. Now, since that basket is empty, I'm going to use it because anything that doesn't belong in here that will fit in there, I'm going to put in there, and that'll be my basket where like I take it somewhere later. So if you follow Dana K. White, she suggests the take it there now method, and I love that method. But with my head problems, I can't always do that. And so if I can take it to the space that I'm close to, I will go do that. If I'm not, then I stick it in the basket, and then I go do it, and I kind of just pace myself as I'm going up and down steps. With pots, like with pots is weird because like it can affect people in different ways, but there are like really common similarities between people that have pots. But whenever I go up a flight of steps, my heart rate will go up to like 140 for no reason. Even if I walk up slow, it just goes up, and then it takes a while to like settle back down, but it will. But because of that, the up and down, and then my blood pressure dropping at the same time, it just really takes a toll on my body, and so I just have to do things differently. So it's totally okay if you need to pace yourself. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to remove these items, and I'm just going to shift them this way, and I'm going to put the drum kit over there for now, and then we're going to deal with this stuff because I need this space where the drum set is. So I'm going to do that. My son loves Halloween, and we all do, but anyway, he refuses to have these go with the Halloween stuff because he wants them out, so it is what it is. And then these bags, they just have stuffed animals in them, and they're stuffed animals that we've gone through, and he really still likes them. And I had this tent set up, and the stuffed animals were in there, but it is going to be stuffed animals. If you can, every so often, just go through them with your kids. They will slowly start to get rid of them. Not a big deal. And it's funny too, because like there's really like not that much stuff, but it looks hectic. Over here looks crazy, but that's because I have like more storagey things, like storage containers and things like that. But I'm gonna move those. He still plays with this, and I just keep it lower because it's heavy. And so that way, actually the table surface, he was like building stuff on there, but now he just kind of plays on the floor. He doesn't really care about having the table surfaces. So if your child is outgrowing spaces, it's totally fine to get rid of them or reutilize them in a different way. Yeah, so ongoing. Did you hear that? It's closed up. There's a garbage truck in here too that I was like, where did that thing go? I remembered putting it in a toy bin, but I thought it was the one in his room. This one. Does that thing shut off? Okay, good. I think it was this. Does this make noise? I don't think this makes noises. Where's the other one? Let's just keep that closed. It's actually really organized in here. It's just like, it's just the garbage truck and dinosaur toys. I think it's not a big deal, and it's stuff that he would still really like and play with. So I'm gonna keep that there for a minute. There's a mouse trap there because we had to get a new furnace and a new air conditioner at the same time, and so they just left the doors open and a mouse came in, and I was freaking out because I was like, oh, I don't want to deal with mice. Luckily, didn't have to worry, but I'm gonna move that. At least there's nothing in it. Sorry, I wanted to wash my hands because I'm a germaphobe. And you're just along for the ride with me right now? Okay. All right. My husband was texting me. I got asked out today at the grocery store. And I was like, oh, sorry, I'm married. And he was like, oh, good for you. And then, like, he fist bumped me. And so I was telling my husband about that. It was funny. I don't know. Okay. That should be a thing, like, where you just, like, randomly ask people stuff, and, like, you know, like, good stuff, and then you, like, fist bump them. Like, did you parallel park today? And then you fist bump them. Unless they say no, I don't know. Did you spot park today? Yeah. Alright, I always have to take breaks, even if I don't want water. I drink water, because I am chronically dehydrated. And I'll just keep going and not drink it, so gotta remember to do that. All right. Truck that he still plays with. Oh, so just a bag of stuff I needed to like put away. So put that away. All right, I'm just gonna move. I'm gonna just shift a couple things. Doesn't have to be like too crazy out of the way. I'm gonna shift that, and then I'll start putting the drum kit where it's gonna go, and then we'll rearrange the other part of the room. And honestly, if I wasn't talking, this would have been done a lot faster, but I want to explain some things if I can. Having pots and being a professional organizer is like, it's so horrible sometimes. Because you're like, whenever you get overstimulated, and I don't know, maybe this is just a normal thing, but like for me, whenever I get overstimulated, my head feels like it's warm and buzzing because it's just like, it just can't handle all the things. So it's just hard to like reacclimate sometimes. All right, let's see here. So this is gonna have to move out. Actually, I'd like to get rid of this puppet show thingy. It's cute. He like never used it. And it was like, oh, him and my niece can use it. But like that doesn't happen. It's just like, it's just in the corner. So I'll probably get rid of that. All right. This is a kid's drum kit. It's for children, but it is a really nice one. I'm just gonna set that down there for a minute. We've had it for, well, my daughter got it when she was 3. So we've had it for 13 years. And it has held up super well. I'm not gonna set this up perfectly. It's just like a for now kind of thing. Because my daughter rearranges it anyway. I mean, she's a drummer still. And I didn't get like an adult kit yet because we're going to be doing a music room. And I'm waiting to get like we pretty much have everything else. We just need a new drum set. But I'm like, use a little baby one. And she'll like sit there and use it just to practice. But she rearranges it anyway. But basically, I just need it over there. Okay. I kind of blocked your vision, but good enough. That is not at all how we would normally set it up. Okay, so now it's nice to have an empty box, just for like shifting things. This room doesn't really have much that we're gonna donate at this point because we've done that so many times, but I mean, every season I usually do, in the beginning, donation is like a weekly occurrence, and you constantly have a box and you're constantly tossing stuff in it and donating. But now that we've been doing that for so long, I kind of just, I think donations are now like, it went from like weekly to monthly, and now it's like an every 4 to 6 month kind of thing. But as we start going through more of our stuff, whenever we're redoing some rooms, it's gonna become more frequent. My point here is constantly just declutter. It doesn't matter if it's a weekly thing, if it's a monthly thing, if it's a yearly thing, just keep up with it because it'll make your life so much easier. All right, so that's already done. Honestly, it's now a matter of like what's staying in this room and what's not staying in this room. So the tent that I just moved from the corner, I'm gonna move it next door. We have a rental property next door, so I'm going to shift this over there because we're currently not renting it out. We just go hang out over there, so it'll be for my son. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna move a few more things and I'll be right back. So, and with the stuff behind me, some like food containers, I have a basement pantry, and that's where I keep a lot of the leftover like Tupperware, things like that. And I usually use them if like we're going out, or like if we're going to, I don't know, if we're like going to a party or a picnic where we have to bring something, or for the holidays, like this was from Halloween, or holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, where I bring a bunch of the containers up, and then whoever is here to eat, they can take food home with them. So I'm just gonna put this with the basement pantry stuff. I keep stepping on a paper bag, so that noise might be annoying. Again, I have my coffee, but every time I drink this, I drink water. For anyone that's just hanging out with me, because these videos are going to be a lot of like hanging out and then just kind of like how I need to do things, just so I'm giving some advice, but you're also seeing like my process. What challenges have you had? You know, you might not have POTS or mast cell activation syndrome, but a lot of my clients do have chronic illness or fibromyalgia or fatigue, different things. A lot of my clients have ADHD, you know, so what challenges have you found that have been hard for you to get over, or what have you done to make it easier for yourself? I'd love to know. I'd love to hear about it. We're all in this together, and we're all doing the best we can, and so it's just nice to hear from others and to kind of bounce ideas off of each other. This bag is hilarious. I don't even remember. Oh, that's another thing. When I had my car accident, I had lost my short-term memory, and there are times now where like I just cannot remember stuff. Is that a spider? Oh, it's not alive. This bag's funny. I don't remember putting this together. Baby doll, really old baby doll, like 16-year-old baby doll. Some batteries in this bag. Patrick Star. A bag of popcorn that is unopened, but expired in 2022. It's probably still fine, but I'm gonna throw it away. A basketball for the basketball hoop that I just got rid of. Although I gave them extra balls anyway, so. Do I have anything I can use that basketball with? Probably not. Alright, there's gonna be garbage. So what do we get out of there? A doll and a basketball. A doll no one plays with, and a ball I don't have a hoop for. So those can go. And I'm gonna keep this bag as my trash, because once you get like the hang of decluttering and working on your house more often, so much stuff becomes garbage that like prior to you'd be like, I don't need to throw that away. I can use it for blah, blah, blah. And then you just start to get excited about like finding trash that you wouldn't have thought was trash before. So yeah. I'm gonna set that there for right now because I want to use this box for something else, and I have a box upstairs for donations. So I'll do that. My son's toolbox, and I'll put that in here. So now that's done. He broke this because he was like 4 when I got it for him, but he still uses it. Whatever, it's fine. He uses it. Okay. Empty containers that we might utilize. ceramic. I didn't know that. And it has the look. Can you even see it? Because I'm wearing black. It's just a skull. Where's this from? Oh, this was from Aldi. Everything I have is from Aldi. I love that place. That's where I was this morning. Is that what I said? That guy that hit on me. It was at Aldi. So, like, the Isle of Shame, you can literally get anything there, including a husband, I guess. I already have one of those. But, yeah. This is a bunch of nothing, really. I kept having this idea of using the mosquito net for something, but my son will just yank it down. Anyway, I have a little bin of like doll clothes and accessories and stuff, so that'll go in there. And then this, I could probably just get rid of because I love the color. It's okay. But yeah, that'll be a get rid of. I haven't thought of like using it outside in some cute way, but I don't even know. I don't even know what I would do with it out there. I did have it out there actually once under, like I had like I don't know, it's like a weatherproof picnic blankety thing. And then I had that over it whenever he was a baby. And so that was very cute. And that's probably where my mind is just still going like, oh, outside. But like now he would just totally rip it off a tree and it would end up ruined. This thing doesn't reopen. You have to like make it reopen. So I don't know if he wants to keep that, if it's worth it. I have a little spot for costumey things. So I'll put this where that is, and this is empty. I really do try to keep things like as accessible to him as possible, just because it makes it easier for him to play, but it makes my life easier because he can put stuff away. To be fair, we have not been down in this room in quite a while, just because we weren't. I don't know. So that's fine. But I know as soon as this is done, he's going to run down and play. These things I'm probably actually not going to use in this room, so I'm going to be taking these out in a bit. But for now, you can see that I'm going to move that chair and that little thing. But yeah, this is just for now. Sorry, this camera angle. I hope you don't get sick. There's his little grocery store, which I have the stuff leaning up against it right now. I'm gonna just move some things while you hang out with me, and I'm actually gonna move you. So you're here now, and I'm here now. Okay. This is very important. It's a sewer vent thingy that my son made, and we have to keep this because if we don't keep it, the world will end, apparently. So that's a keep. There is so much in this room that doesn't need to be in here. So since I'm getting rid of that little white table, which is just holding like storagey bins and stuff, I don't need to keep the stuff that was sitting on it, which was just the papers. So that's a good win-win thing. I have this chair, and then there's this, it's so hard to do, but this is good for like brain training. This table here, these chairs go to that. Now, when I was straightening up in here the other day, the up and down was hard for me, and so I just took these bins, because he was playing with like his kitchen stuff. I just took these bins and I tossed all the kitchen stuff in there, but I sorted it. So this is like literal just kitchen food, and then this one is more like kitchen utensils, grills, stuff. So I sorted it that way. But I didn't put it away yet, and that's gonna be another sitting job. So whenever I do my jobs now, I have to have like my standing jobs, and then if I need to sit, what are those sitting jobs gonna be? And so yeah, whenever you're doing organizing, house cleaning, decluttering, anything like that, you kind of just need to map things out. Like, okay, while I'm feeling well, I'm gonna stand and I'm gonna do this. If I start to feel kind of crappy, I'm gonna sit and work on this. I will say there are times when you do need to just like lay down. For myself, if I lay on my back, my blood pressure drops and my heart rate drops very, very significantly. Like my heart rate will go to like 43 if I lay on my back. So that's another thing I have to be mindful of. But sometimes people need to lay on their back and put their legs up to get the blood flow to their head. So I need to sit reclined, and I need to like move my feet and my ankles and my legs to move the blood up. And so that's just another thing that I have to think about. So sometimes even the sitting jobs, you don't feel well doing those either. It's okay. You just take your time, do some of your breathing, drink your water. If you have salt, throw that under your tongue. There are times I just put a teaspoon of salt under my tongue. I use Redmond's. It's not just like table salt. I know a lot of people that use table salt, but I like to have the minerals and stuff, and I don't want there to be an imbalance of like potassium and magnesium for myself. So I stick with Redmond's and then the Element in my water. But yeah, if you're feeling really crappy, just get that salt in you however you need to. A lot of people bring salty snacks with them to jobs. And, you know, I think the biggest thing is just like being really honest with your client is that like, this is what I have, this is what I'm dealing with. And I want you to be aware, and I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to still help you and work with you. These are just the things these are like sometimes my limitations. And then that's how, you know, I have to work around it. So all that to say, pace yourself. It'll be okay. People would rather you be helping them in a slower paced manner than you making yourself sick and then you not being able to help them at all. So I'm going to fix my poop emoji hair. Oh, it looks, well, it's poop emoji. It looks fine for that. All right. One of the things that I do have a lot of down here are like little crafts and art supplies that my son had made. I don't like how it looks. And he still likes them and they're cute. So I do have memory bins, but some of these are too big for that. So I'm gonna figure something out. It could even be like where I take a picture of it, and then have that like in a photo album. But I didn't get there yet with some of these bigger things. But yeah, a lot of people like to do the pictures in the photo album, and then you can even keep that in the memory bin, just so it's all together. And whenever your kids move out, they get their memory bin or however. Although whenever my mom started giving me like my stuff that like I thought my parents would want to like remember me, you know, like, oh, I don't know. It's just funny to get like your own stuff back sometimes, or like things that you've made for them. It's just kind of funny. I don't know. Funny to think about. All right. Let's see. So I'm at the point where like now that I've done that and I have like some space, I am seeing like I have that container right there of the Nerf bullet thingies, and I found 2. And so now I see where that's at. I was hiding it, so that's why I stopped putting away, because I was hiding it so he wouldn't shoot his siblings, because that was I didn't have the spoons to deal with it that day. I don't even ever use that term, like having enough spoons, but I know a lot of people use that term. Anyway, I didn't feel like dealing with it. Got them. I'm gonna put them in here. And yesterday I started my functional neurology treatments, and I felt really sick, and then I had a mast cell activation syndrome flare up, and today I'm feeling pretty good. So that's a good sign. Like that means that my brain, my autonomic nervous system, and my vestibular system are responding well, which is really nice. But it's gonna like take some time. So whenever I do my exercises today, I'll see how I feel. And if I need to start like skipping a day because like that day in between I'm feeling nice. Now I do have a client session coming up, and what I might do is do my treatment and then the next and then not do it the next day. That way I feel well enough for her if this is going to be my pattern. So just paying attention to my pattern. I think one of the best things you can do if you're dealing with POTS is find a practitioner that understands what this is and what you're feeling and what you're dealing with, because I have felt crazy for like the last 6 years mostly after my accident, and having somebody that just like understands and sees like the actual issue and knows like what's going on inside of you even though it's not visible, game changer. Such a relief. Like, I'm so thankful, so grateful that I met this doctor. He's so awesome. So all right, I'm gonna move a few more things. I'm gonna come right back. I'm gonna say that a lot in this video, but it's fine. I'm just piecing things together. These videos are gonna be what they are for now. Look what I found. See? It's uncanny. So whenever I'm doing a kid's room, I have everything sorted, and I do it in a way like where it's easy for them to understand too. But whenever it comes to like weird stuff, like there's like, do you hear that? It's like water in there. Whenever it comes to weird stuff like this, I always have one bin of like weird random stuff that like they love and that they play with, but like that literally wouldn't have like a label. It's like the weird random bin, and then it's just kind of nice to have that. The one thing you have to be careful with is like not just throwing other random stuff in there that does have a home, but I like to have one random bin. So yeah, there's that. Let's see here. Come with me. Let's put kid food away. Ooh, I don't want to make you sick. I don't want to make me sick. We're going over here. So, in the kid kitchen area, we gotta move this cardboard tank that was made. I'm gonna just set that there. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't get sick. Okay, almost there. Sorry for this boat ride. I'm so sorry. Like, if somebody did that to me in a video, I'd be like, why are you doing that? Okay. We're gonna push this little chair in. Alright, so in this kitchen space, and I'll show you. This is another thing. What do I do with this? Like, it's so big, and I tried to hang it up, and then he wanted it down. But like, it's not like he plays with it all the time. So that's like another thing. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so in this kitchen, well, this is the little grocery store area. And so I have like, there's desserts, there's dairy, there's vegetables, fruits, and then there's bread, canned goods. It's all sorted. And then on the other side is like a little refrigerator. That box is just sitting like, because that's the tank that he made. All right, I'm gonna put these food thingies away while I talk to you about random stuff. So I guess we could talk about symptoms that I have had since I was young. That might be a good one. So I was born with I'm hypermobile, which I didn't even know that I was hypermobile until recently. And this is actually gonna be a good brain test, because part of my treatment is multitasking, which I'm usually so good at, and I'm not good at it anymore. And so multitasking is gonna be a thing for me for sure. So talking, and then I'm sorting these by what they are. So like the fruits are going together, the vegetables are going together, bread, meat, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's going to be a total test. And then figuring out what the heck they are. Like, that's an avocado, I believe. So, and that's a fruit. I can't eat avocados anymore. They started to make me feel sick. And I don't know. They're usually fine for people that have the issues I have. But not me, not right now. Which, whatever, it's fine. I just put a strawberry with the vegetables. So, this is going well. I'm gonna have to sit here and be like, bread, meat, spoon, and you're gonna be like, I'm changing the video. Okay. Yeah. My symptoms that started to scare me were alongside of like the forgetfulness. It was just like right now I'm disoriented because I'm looking to the left. Well, I was looking to the left and then I went this way. And so now I'm dizzy, and I left my water on the other side of the room. I should have brought it with me. And then I get tired. It's literally like dizzy, disoriented. I'm gonna fall over. I need to take a nap. Like, it happens so fast, and it's so annoying. And if you're at somebody's house, you can't do that. You can't do that, Kelly. So actually, this is hard because I'm going to the left and it's making me really dizzy. So I'm gonna move. I'm gonna try this because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm figuring this out as I go. But like right now, I feel really dizzy. And I just kind of have to breathe through it. I notice too, like if I get headaches or if I feel like really just off, I have to close my eyes, and it's because the shakiness of my eyes makes me so disoriented. So if I quiet that part down, things resolve a little bit quicker. But it's like now I'm just so tired. It's so frustrating. It makes you feel like useless sometimes. Because it's like, this should not be that hard. I'm literally like, I'm putting play food away. It should not be a big deal, but it turns into one. And then it's just like how sick you feel. I know why I'm getting thrown off. This was in with the vegetables and I kept glancing at it and then tossing fruit next to it. Anyway, yeah, so putting these away. But the symptoms that started to scare me, that was one of them actually, because you feel like you're going to pass out and then you're thinking like, oh, I'm by myself, or oh, I'm with my little kids, or I'm not near anyone. Like, all these things go through your mind and it can be really scary. And I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised I didn't have an episode sooner during this video because it tends to happen rather soon after I start doing something like this because I do get overwhelmed. So yeah, so that was good. But we got like a good, I don't know, I think I've been recording, I don't know if you'll see all of this, but I think I've been recording for like an hour. But like I got a good dent done in the room. And that's the other thing. It's like if I need to stop, it's fine because I got the corner done that I wanted, and it's really about the smaller goals. So whenever I go to a client's house, I tend to do 1 to 2 hours at a time, and I do that strategically because first off, decision fatigue is hard for people that are going through their own things, like actually decluttering, but then also it's less overstimulating for me, so like it's a win-win for us both to do it that way. Yeah, but like, ooh, okay, so it's now resolving, which is good. And then I'm just going to keep sorting through this stuff. But yeah, symptoms, vertigo, temperature control is really hard. So like I have a hard time sweating. I actually don't really sweat because my autonomic nervous system is dysregulated. And so whenever I'm hot, instead of sweating, it just builds up and I feel like I'm boiling in my body and it's so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. And so that's one of the things that was more of like an annoyance, but then it got to the point where it was like concerning because I literally felt like I was going to pass out. And then I burn very easily in the sun. And this is where like hydration and then properly covering yourself up is important. I personally like sunglasses, but I use them to pull my hair back. I don't really like them for my eyes. They don't make my eyes feel very good. And then also your brain kind of needs to know what the sun is like for real so that it can protect your skin better. So people that wear sunglasses, a lot of times they tend to burn easier or more. So I don't really wear sunglasses. I do have a sunscreen that I do like. I think it's from Vanacream, but it's safe for people with mast cell activation syndrome. So if I am going to use the sunscreen, I use that one. But I tend to just go out when I don't need sunscreen. I would prefer to go out at specific times of the day just to avoid needing to put anything additional on me, but then also avoid getting burned because I don't want to get burned. Forgetfulness was scary. That was definitely scary for me because I'm so used to like being on top of things, and not only on top of things, but like 5 steps ahead. And that is not something I've been able to keep up with all of these things happening. Fatigue, brain fog's really bad. Just like your face and your extremities tingle. Your heart rate gets really high, and you just feel like you could just pass out. Like you just feel so exhausted, and that's when the blood pressure is going down. So I'm gonna finish putting this stuff away and I'll be right back. Change of scenery. So I'm gonna take a break because I started to feel just not well and my heart rate went up high. And so I'm just gonna do some of my breathing exercises and elevate my legs and kind of take it from there. So we're gonna do this in 2 parts. So the next video you'll see the other half of finishing that playroom, and you can see now, like we could hear that whenever I get these episodes, it's harder to find my words. I kind of stumble over things a little bit more, and I just wanted to say thank you for kind of hanging out with me because these videos are going to be different. I'm used to being like really fast paced, and I just can't do that anymore. Well, for now, I can't do that for now. And so I just wanted to say thank you and stick around because things are going to get really good as I'm feeling better. I'm excited to share things and help you and do things alongside you. It's just right now, I'm going to take a little bit of a break and I will see you in the next one.